Rich, appreciate you taking the time and visiting with us here on myprintresource.com.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
Tell us about the evolution of offset in the last couple of years. It's really something else.
Yeah, there's been a lot of things going on in offset the last couple of years. One of the things that we see is that, really the robustness of what offset does in the marketplace, it's continued to be strengthened and continues to make print, and particularly offset print, very strong. I mean, if you go back to the early 90s, late 80s, when everyone started to talk about the paperless society and so on.
Exactly.
Right. So we obviously haven't seen that come to pass, and not that there hasn't been a lot of changes. There's obviously the internet and electronic substitution and ebooks and so on. But what really has happened with offset is it's been able to transform itself to still be a very viable media in the marketplace.
Do you see that as a future as it progresses more into the technology of the industry?
Right.
Is it still maintain a really good level of growth?
Yes, we see one, and part of it is when you look at different markets around
Sure.
the world.
Right.
So I mean, being in the U.S., I'll touch on that in a second, but when you look at a lot of the emerging markets in the world and literacy rates, so a lot of things that we do is we track literacy rates around the world. More people read, the more they want to read print. So there's a lot of dynamic growth in literacy rates, particularly in China and India, and that'll certainly drive print. If you look at markets like the U.S. and Western Europe, where they are more mature markets, even in those, again, the transformation of what print does as a communication media. So no longer is it just, I want a printed brochure or I want a printed magazine, but it's how that printed magazine and brochure becomes part of really the kind of the electronic ecosystem. So you see things like the QR codes and so on that really help sustain print.
How does digital fit into the entire picture as far as Kodak's concerned?
Yeah, we're moving down the track with a very strong digital presence. We know that digital is a very strong output media for printers. It helps them with variable data, it helps them with versioning, and again, helps the printer stay viable as the electronic world will continue to develop. Where offset fits in is we see a very strong mix in what we call a hybrid environment. And that hybrid environment takes the benefits of offset, and if you look at the offset printer and all of them that are here today, they become very, very efficient with offset, both from a quality standpoint and a productivity standpoint. And if you look at where we're going from a Kodak is how do we integrate the digital along with the offset print. So we have a system now that we can actually put a digital head on an existing offset press that allows you with that variable data, short run digital runs, and really mixes the two together. It helps the printer use a production tool, the offset press, that they know well and they're very good with, and it helps them utilize that asset longer. So we see a strong mix with offset.
Looking at this on a worldwide basis, is there, as far as a company of yours is concerned, is there a big difference between the international focus and the American focus, or are the two pretty much in balance, one out of balance? Can they be melded, so to speak?
I don't think they're completely melded yet. So the print market is an example in China versus the US or Western Europe, a mature market, or again an emerging market like in India.
Sure.
So that market, because again they're somewhat on their infancies, looks different, has different needs, both from a production standpoint and what print is. The potential's there, and they're moving very quickly. So they are embracing technology, they're embracing the productivity of print, and very rapidly they're moving to where they will certainly catch up from an overall print standpoint in those markets also.
Great. Rich, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks.
Appreciate your time and effort, and have a good show.
Thanks, great being with you.
Thank you.